Hi guys, welcome to another vlog. So in today's vlog, I'm going to talk about some bad habits. Basically, some bad habits that you should avoid in your GMAT prep. So while preparing for the GMAT, I've seen a lot of students make these mistakes. So I just thought I would highlight these in today's vlog. So in case you're making these mistakes, please stop doing so immediately. In case you're not making them, don't start making them. So the first thing is, I see a lot of people avoiding using the OG in the initial part of their prep. So what I get is, oh, the OG is the most representative material, so we will use it right at the end of the prep. That's absolutely idiotic if you ask me. Why would you do that? I mean, at the beginning of the prep is when you want to get an idea of the kind of questions you will get on the GMAT. And the best idea of that will come from the OG. If you've seen my previous vlogs, I've always said even before you do questions from my books, do questions from the OG. So because you see, the thing is, once you've done the OG questions and then you do some other question, if you come across a weird question, you will know it's a weird question because you know it is not like something you've seen in the OG, and you won't maybe focus too much on it because you will know it's not gonna be most likely tested on the GMAT. But if you have no idea of the kind of stuff you will see on the actual GMAT, then any new or weird question that you come across in some random source will confuse you. So always start with the OGs, and only once you've completed the OGs, move to any other supplementary material for practice questions. The second bad habit is studying in what I call an extremely disciplined manner. What I mean by that is, 1 week you will do quant, the second week you will do verbal, and the week in which you do quant, you will not touch verbal. The week in which you do verbal, you won't touch quant. This is what I call the extremely focused approach. While you might think it is a focused approach, it is not the best approach if you ask me. Because giving a long gap between quant and verbal is not a good idea. Ideally, you should be doing them together. I'm a big supporter of mixing up your prep. It also prevents complacency and monotony from coming in. So mix up sentence correction and critical reasoning. In fact, mix up verbal and quant also. Once you've done too much of verbal, do a bit of quant. So don't give a huge gap between topics or between subject areas, because then you will tend to forget things, especially with things such as sentence correction. If you give a 1 week break, you will forget all the rules. So mix up your prep. It's not a good idea to get too focused. Third problem, not taking enough full length tests. I come across so many students who've not even taken all the GMAT preps, and they've gone and taken the GMAT, and then they're complaining that they've done badly. So keep in mind, you might be performing very well in the OGs, you might be performing very well in your practice resources, but that good performance may not translate into a good performance on a full length test. It's a completely different animal, which is why you need to take a lot of these. 12 is a good number. That's the number you're looking at. So 6 GMAT preps and a few other third-party tests, mix and match once again, and that's the number you're looking at. And don't take these tests back to back. I mean, taking 12 tests in 12 days will be absolutely useless, because the idea is you take a test, you analyze the test, you figure out what are the things you could have done differently or you should have done differently, and then you go into the next test with some strategy as to how you will approach the test. Again, take that test, again analyze it, fine tune your strategy, and then go into the next test. That's basically how you want to approach your test. So the 12 tests that I said, ideally you should be taking them a test every 3 days. So that itself should take you around 35-40 days, just the full length test. But take around 10-12 of these. Don't take 3-4 tests, nothing will happen. The fourth bad habit, and this is connected to your tests, is either not taking all the GMAT preps, or what I see a lot, leaving the GMAT preps right till the end, because they will give you the best idea of your score. But what will you do with it at the end? I mean, if you have 4 days or 5 days to go for the exam, or a week to go for the exam, and the GMAT prep tells you you're getting a 640, I mean, it will just depress you, it will make you nervous, but you won't have enough time to do anything about it. So don't leave the GMAT preps till the end. You ideally spread these out as well. The first one you should have taken even before you start your prep, the diagnostic test. The other 5, take them at regular intervals. So you can actually mix and match. So take a GMAT prep, then take another third party test maybe, again come back to a GMAT prep, again take a third party test, because the third party test will be good practice. One, they will give you different kind of questions, some of which will be weird, but still good practice. They'll also break the monotony. They will not let you settle into a routine, and that's a good thing. You should be ready for unexpected things, right? So mix it up, because use the GMAT prep to give you an idea of the score, and use other third party tests to get more test taking practice. Don't use the third party tests to get an idea of your score, because nobody knows how the GMAT algorithm works. Only use the GMAT prep to get an idea of your score. So don't leave the GMAT prep test till very late. Last bad habit, and this one is going to sound interesting, a little counterintuitive, but something you would definitely expect from me if you've been watching my vlogs. I don't take the straight path. So the fifth bad habit is focusing too much on hard work. Yes, you heard that right. I know hard work pays and all of that, but trust me, smart work pays faster and a lot more. So by all means work hard, but also work smart. And if you have to choose between the two, always pick up smart work. Let me elaborate a little so you guys don't get confused. I see a lot of people preparing for the GMAT the way they prepare for the college exams. So when you talk about your college exam or your school exams, hard work was directly proportional to the score you got. Pretty much. But it won't be the case on the GMAT. So if you apply the same logic on the GMAT, that the harder I work, the higher I will score, a lot of the times you will end up disappointed because your score is not matching the effort you've put in. And that's because the GMAT is not a school exam. It's testing you on your higher order thinking skills, your reasoning skills. And not just reasoning and critical reasoning skills everywhere, all across the test. So it's very important that when you're preparing for the GMAT, you are using your brains to analyze your performance. Basically follow that loop. So you practice questions, you analyze questions, you identify your problem areas, you work on those problem areas, and you come back and practice more questions. That is the loop you will follow if you're working smart. If you're working hard, all you will do is practice more and more questions. The other three things, the analysis, the identification of weakness, the strategy part of it, all that goes out of the window. You assume that the more questions you do, the higher you will score. The more practice tests you take, the higher you will score. And you will be surprised when you see your score. I won't be surprised. Which is why I say, do not prepare for the GMAT the way you used to prepare for your school or college exams. So don't go berserk with hard work. Consistency is more important. An hour or two every day, 5 or 6 hours on weekends should be good enough. A total of 100, 120 hours should be fine. You don't need to spend 300 hours. Just today I was reading this test prep company's tagline, and it said, give us 360 hours and we'll give you a 760. I think that's too many hours, and if you are stupid enough to require 360 hours of prep, then there is no way you're getting a 760 or even close to it. So don't go crazy with hard work. Work smart. The GMAT is testing your managerial skills, so think of yourself as a smart manager and try to apply that in your GMAT prep. So those are 5 bad habits that I see students make in their GMAT prep, and I strongly suggest that please try to avoid these. So I hope you guys found this vlog informative, and I shall see you tomorrow in a new vlog. Have a nice day.